Because of the coronavirus pandemic, there's a lot of fear and uncertainty in the manufacturing industry.
That's right.
You have more than 25 years of experience in the manufacturing industry. You are also the CEO of a rapidly growing Indian company, Supervac Industries LLP. What is your take on this entire situation?
Let's face facts. We are facing a lockdown of close to 1.5 months, and 1 month roughly contributes about 8.33% to the top line. So 1.5 month means 12.5% is straight away shaved off the top line. And then I don't see very positive outlook for another 2 or 3 quarters. So what I think is about 40% hit in the top line is what most companies are going to take. Of course, depending upon the sector, some companies may take a bigger hit and some may take a little less, but 40% hit in the top line is what going to be the main figure.
What do you think will be the impact on the Indian manufacturing industry in particular?
Yeah, this is a very relevant question. For understanding the impact on Indian manufacturing sector, first we have to take a look at the impact of coronavirus on India itself. As far as India is concerned, fortunately, India is very strongly placed in this juncture. First of all, we have a very strong domestic consumption that insulates us from the world. Then the prices of crude oil have fallen down drastically. India is a big importer of crude oil, so the prices falling help us in a big way. Then the third thing that comes in favor of India is the capital is going to flow to India, because India fortunately has been affected very little with the pandemic compared to the world, compared to European countries or US. India has been affected far less, thank God for that. So the capital always flows to a place where it can grow quickly. People with money bags are very smart. They know where the capital is going to grow fast. So India will be a natural destination for a lot of money to flow in the form of manufacturing, in the other forms as well. Then another thing that augments position of India is we have a young population and people are educated over here. India is a democracy. This environment is stable. So many factors are causing India to be strong right now. Another factor that goes extremely strongly in favor of India is right now is anti-China sentiment. People are against China, and China is going to face an economic as well as emotional backlash from the world. Right now, you see USA is talking openly of revenge. Germany has sent them a bill. Japan is asking its companies to shift out of China. So the backlash is going to be there. India here is a natural contender for this lot which will be vacated by China. India is a natural contender. So the India in general is, the outlook for India in general is good. And if the outlook for India in general is good, then Indian industry certainly will benefit in medium to long term.
What do you think will be the help, the extent of help from the government in this situation?
What I see is that government seems to be having very good intentions and is trying to do what it best it can. But the fact of the matter remains this, that once the companies lose 40% of their top line, then the government is also losing the taxes. Government is also going to take a hit in its revenue close to 40% or maybe even more. So government will have very limited maneuverability in this situation to help the industry. I don't see very big steps from the government to help the industry as such.
To conclude, we now know that India is placed very strongly in this entire situation.
Certainly.
We have also concluded that in the short term, some companies might face shave off in their top lines. What should be the way going forward for companies?
I think this is a very important question because the status quo as such has been shattered. Now, some companies which are behaving rightly are going to progress and be the world leaders. Some companies who do not adapt to the situation will fall by the side. As per me, a major thing is going to be the cost cutting in companies. By cost cutting, I do not mean firing of the employees or reducing their salaries or increments or withholding of the salaries. No, because this is going to demoralize your team and going to cause more damage than good. So not this. By cost cutting, I mean you have to get in touch with suppliers who can supply you top quality at reasonable rates and quickly, so that you don't build on inventories and block your money.
So can you give an example for that?
Yeah, an example that comes to my mind is some time back, a close friend of mine who runs a big industry was importing some material from a European company. And the same material with the same specifications was available in India also. 2-3 fellows were manufacturing that, and that material was cheaper by close to 35%. When I asked him why buying 35% costly material, his answer was European quality. When we dug deep, we were shocked to see that the material he was buying from a European company was being manufactured in China. In fact, it was being shipped also from China. It was just being sold under a brand name of a European company, and person was saying 35% extra. Person was spending 35% extra. Just imagine. So this kind of things are not possible now. People doing this kind of things will fall by the side. Like I said, companies have to be lean. They have to cut the flap. Extra expenditure on very big offices, lavish office parties, or corporate meetings outside India are a certain no-no. And the things that need to be done by companies are cost cutting, digitalization in a big way, improvement in the customer experience is going to be very, very important. And for manufacturing sector, Industry 4.0 needs to be implemented. The companies that do these things right are going to be the leaders of tomorrow.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, my pleasure.